Majed sir.
Oh, that's wonderful, Komal. It's always fantastic. The chapter name is Analysis of Risk and Return, and I'm sure that many of you would have already done this chapter when you had done your graduation time. Especially if I'm not wrong, I'm 100% sure about TY BFM student and TY BIM student. I'm sure TY BAF and BCom students would haven't done this kind of thing, but you would have already done. What is this chapter all about? The things which I started with. I mean, there will be many students who would always think that why do I start my sessions with share market ka thing? And I started with IRCTC, and the first word came out from Radha's mouth was that, sir, don't tell these things, sir. The way this stock has gone down is really painful, right or wrong? And the way it has gone from 6,396 high to today, it was 4,125. It went till 4,000, if I am not gone wrong, 4,050 also. So the problem with this kind of, what is the problem? The problem
Sir,
is
today it was 39.66 around.
39.66 would be the lowest. I would have not checked it.
Aaj ka tha.
So that means that in a day, when a particular stock, because in the morning when I saw it was lower circuit of 12%, which means 39.66 hi hoga, which means that in a day, a particular stock, if it is falling 12%, and in a week, this stock has already fallen 27%. Because last week ka 15% fall tha, and up 12% or 15% fall. But yet, if you don't believe me, in 2 years' time, this stock has still given more than 10 times of returns. More than 10 times of returns. What does that mean? You know what is 10 times of more than 10 times of returns? More than 10 times of returns ka matlab is 320 was the price at which I had bought this share. I can tell you 320. Radha, I know you will have a kind of a jealousy or kind of a problem with me.
Yes, sir.
And you could say, sir, party नहीं मिला तो हमको कैसे पता चला?
तो sir.
हाँ, हमको पार्टी नहीं मिला तो हमको नहीं
ऐसा
पता कि
नहीं
आपने
चलता.
320 में खरीदा था. So this is what happens. But the whole process of portfolio management is all towards returns only. The process of any process of finance is zero if there is no calculation of returns. If you don't calculate returns, there's no meaning to it. Why? Because end of the day, you are working for that kind of a returns. We say no that money should work for you. Now, when will money work for you? When you put it into those investment areas which will give you returns. If you don't put your money only into those areas, then who will give you returns? Or what will give you returns? So financial asset. So there is what here, don't read anything what I have written here. If you are reading it, well and good. But here what I have written is something to do with physical asset and financial asset. When you buy a particular car, it is a physical asset that you have bought. And when you buy a particular house, either you may stay in that house or either it can be for your investment purpose. So when you buy a particular house, there is something that you want to generate out of it. You may want to generate a rental income from it, or you may want to generate some kind of investment basket or some kind of investment machinery, or what you call it as continuously return generating machinery which you want to generate, which is called as regular income giving securities to you. Shares, debentures, bonds. Debentures and bonds may give you interest. Shares may not give you dividend at a regular basis. I mean, companies like ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, the last time they declared dividend was 3 years, 4 years back. SBI kind of a company has not even given dividend for past 7 years. So these are companies, but if you see their capital appreciation which has taken place, just take for example ICICI Bank today. I mean 80 rupees up. I don't know when I could have last seen a bank company being nearly 7.5% up, 7 and 10% up. Sorry, not even 7.5%, 10%. Because the closing was 760, if I'm not wrong, of ICICI Bank, and it was at 844 के आसपास मैंने देखा था आज सवेरे. 10% in just one day, 10%. Just imagine that a person who would have put this money into ICICI Bank on a Friday evening while market getting closed, and when comes up today morning, when he sees that ICICI Bank is 10% up, if he kept that same ICICI Bank depositor, let's take for example a student called as Vaibhav Asher, who would have kept into ICICI Bank fixed deposit. He had 1 lakh rupees on Friday evening. He deposited 1 lakh rupees. ICICI Bank tells him that you will get 4.9% interest. And there is a student called as Radha who puts this money into shares of ICICI Bank on a Friday evening at 740 rupees or 760 rupees. And when she comes in the morning on Monday morning, the price is at 840. Who will cry the most? But obvious Vaibhav will cry the most. Why? Because एक साल बाद मेरा पैसे को सिर्फ 4.5% रिटर्न होने वाला है, जिसके ऊपर टैक्स भी लगने वाला है. अभी तक मैंने उस सब चीजें कवर नहीं की, लेकिन उस पर टैक्स भी लगेगा. और राधा very happy, yes, she will have to pay tax on whatever gains that she makes. She bought the stock at 750 rupees and she sells the stock at 840 rupees, making 90 rupees of gain. वो 90 पे 15% ही टैक्स लगने वाला शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन. लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन लगेगा उसको, लेकिन वो लॉन्ग टर्म नहीं है उसके लिए, क्योंकि वो शॉर्ट टर्म है. फ्राइडे को खरीदा, मंडे मॉर्निंग को बेच दिया. 90 रुपए में 15% देना कितना इजी लगेगा राधा? राधा will say, I'm very happy to pay you, sir. और मेरा एक साल पे रखने पे मेरे को मेरे स्लैब के हिसाब से जाएगा और रिटर्न भी कम 4.9% मेरे को मिलेगा, जिसपे अगर if I am standing at a 30% टैक्स ब्रैकेट, सोचना मत, समझना मत, इतना बड़ा टैक्स ब्रैकेट मेरा है नहीं, बट अगर मैं 30% टैक्स स्लैब में हूँ, अब ये चीजें 30% टैक्स स्लैब का समझने का बात आई थिंक अभय विल अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज ही हैज वर्कड विद सीए. So 30% tax slab में हूँ तो 4.9 minus 30%, which comes to how much in my hand? Just 3.5%, 3.6% मान के चलो. Only 3.6% I will get. So this is the vocabulary that you need to ingrain in your brain, keep it in your brain and study very easily, very hard. This is the word and terminologies which we are going to use day in and day out for risk and return analysis. I'm today speaking about only returns because those are very easy ways to make you understand what is a return. Return is basically nothing but, अब मैं इसका फॉर्मूला नहीं दे सकता. मैं इसका फॉर्मूला क्यों नहीं दे सकता? क्योंकि तुम्हारे पास फॉर्मूला ऑलरेडी है. मैं इसका फॉर्मूला नहीं दे सकता because I don't feel like giving any formulas to any student. It's just pure mugging up. So if I tell you that what is, let's say for example, if I tell you 940 rupees, 740 rupees was the price, purchase price, and 850 rupees was the sale price. What is the returns made? What is the returns that an investor has made in this? Returns made. And how will you calculate that? In a simple words.
110.
110. कुछ नहीं किया आपने.
850 minus 740.
850 minus 740. वो तो परसेंटेज टर्म में कितना हुआ?
14%.
How did you get it?
14.86.
110 divided by 740 करो ना, multiplied by 100. 110 was the pure profit, but percentage return कितना आया? वो मेन है ना, percentage return कितना आया? मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ, मेरे को भी मेरे देख लेता. 850 740 यही था ना कुछ प्राइसिंग. तर किती आलं? 110 आलं. 110 तर इक्वल टू 110 by 740 multiplied by 100. 14.86. Komal was right. 14.86%. अब हाँ, अगर ये ईयरली है तो, अगर ये एक दिन में ही आया तो इतना बड़ा, उससे ज्यादा परसेंटेज प्रॉफिट होगा. This is considered to be 1 day का profit or a yearly profit, that whatever ways and means that you find out, this is a per annum profit which I calculate. This is the way that you will calculate, and this is the way that you make returns calculatable. So this is what we are doing over here, and this is what percentage calculation is all about. So returns and risk, but returns and risk go hand in hand. And it is needless to say why it goes hand in hand. You are already aware about it. Why it goes hand in hand, Radha? Returns and risk.
Higher the risk, higher the return.
Absolutely, higher the risk, higher the return. Because we want return the maximum, but the risk to be the minimum. This is the nature of human beings, correct? We want the returns the highest and the risk to be the lowest, right? We are not ready to take any kind of risk with respect to. सुनाई दे रहा है कि नहीं दे रहा है?
Yes, yes.
Hello,
हाँ sir.
hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Meeting audio may not be fully recorded. मेरा कुछ problem आ रहा है लगता है. Okay, I hope that my recording takes place perfectly. Otherwise, there will be an issue. Okay, but coming back to this concept that we don't, we want always the risk to be the least and the return to be the maximum, but everything is not possible. Have you ever thought that why this week the banking stocks, if you see last week of Friday and this today Monday morning, banking stocks have performed exceptionally brilliant. What was the reason? And if I'm not wrong, 2 weeks back, reality stocks were performing brilliantly. Have you ever analyzed it? Anybody? Radha, did you get a call from investor or not?
Yes sir. This week interview होगा.
कब
phone
होगा
आया था.
इंटरव्यू, कुछ बोला?
नहीं, वो उन्होंने बोला वो मुझे बताएंगे, क्योंकि लास्ट वीक कॉल आया था, मैंने बोला इंटरनेट चल रहा है तो वो लोग नेक्स्ट ये वीक में रखने वाले हैं.
अरे नेहा आई છે राधा.
सर ये डिस्कनेक्ट થઈ જશે કેમ કે એની પાસે ઇયરફોન્સ ને કાંઈ જ નથી.
Oh, I thought that Neha is gone to meet his friend. अच्छी बात है. Neha, good evening. So, did you ever thought that why banking stocks went up in this past 1 week, or what was the reason? ये सब चीजें finance के student हो, please keep a watch. Komal, keep a watch on banking stock. ऐसा क्या हो गया कि सर banking stock ऊपर गए, but if you see other all stocks have gone down and they have gone badly down. In fact, a company which produced an amazing set of returns, and I'm saying it very clearly, amazing returns, has gone down today morning very badly. They 2% down at least, if I'm not wrong. Even though the company produced very good results, and the company name is Reliance Industries. On Friday evening, when they declared their Q2 results, the results were over and above estimates. Now, why am I talking about over and above estimates, and why am I again coming to share market? Because share market is the epitome of risk and return. Share market holds the epitome of risk and return to the maximum extent. If I talk about anything else, if I talk about debentures, we know that there is no risk. If I talk about anything called as fixed deposit, I've already explained there is no risk involved in it. If I talk about bonds, there's no risk involved in it. There's just a bond which has just got launched today only, if I'm not wrong, Bharat ETF bonds. I mean, it's a good bond. If you are interested in bond market, you all can actually apply it. There's one more bond which has just got launched, which is I'm sure, and that every time when Dhanteras comes, they launch this kind of a thing, which is a gold sovereign bonds. 2.5% interest rate है उसपे. और LTCG 1 साल तक रखोगे गोल्ड तो कोई LTCG नहीं है, अगर 1 साल के पहले बेच दिया तो 15% का HTCG लगेगा जैसे शेयर मार्केट में लगता है। तो गोल्ड सोवरिन बॉन्ड्स भी लॉन्च किया है, जस्ट अभी लॉन्च किया है। So it is up to you. What is your risk appetite? You can go ahead. But share market is the epitome of risk and return, and it gives you a clear-cut identification of what is your risk and what is your return. ऐसा क्या हो गया अचानक से that banking stocks have started performing exceptionally good, whereas all the other stocks have not performed even after giving a good set of results. जब
Sir,
results आते हैं,
privatization.
हाँ, प्राइवेटाइजेशन तो पहले से ही चल रहा है, अचानक से प्राइवेटाइजेशन चल रहा है तो HDFC बैंक और इसको क्यों इतना प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, इसको क्यों इतना अच्छा चल रहा है? ICICI बैंक में क्या हो गया? अब मैं आपको समझाता हूँ। रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज ने भी बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट दिया और ICICI बैंक ने भी बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट दिया। तो ऐसा क्या हो गया कि ICICI बैंक आज 10% ऊपर, लेकिन रिलायंस सिर्फ 2% डाउन हो गया? ऐसा क्या हो गया भाई? What made those kind of inferences, or what made those kind of inferences to draw? How do you calculate then risk and return on that? And let me show you practically itself so that you will understand what I'm trying to say. When I say that Reliance share price, look at it. Look at today's low of Reliance, 2570, 2607 पे बंद हुआ, 0.78%. 2570 if I calculate it is nearly 1.5% down. And look at here, if I'm able to show you, is a stock of ICICI Bank share price. And look at ICICI Bank share price if I can show you. $841, 10.8% up. I don't know whether you are able to see or not my screen.
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
Can look at it. What has gone right for ICICI Bank and what has gone not right for the bank of, Reliance share price. दोनों के results were exceptionally good. I am saying it, and they were above estimates. Look at your Q2 results. After Q2 you should buy, sell or hold. In fact, Reliance का भाव तो 3000 का दे दिया है brokers ने, significantly higher. Look at here, consolidated revenue for the quarter and came at 1.74 lakh crore, significantly higher by 49.8% compared to 1.16 lakh crore reported in a year ago. एक साल में 50% का revenue growth. Look at here, Reliance Industries has reported a massive growth, consolidated revenue growth of 46%, if I'm not wrong. Consolidated profit of 15,479 crore for the year ended. Profit for the year ago, profit stood at 10,000 crore and 13,806 in June quarter. June quarter से भी 15,000 crore किया, फिर भी शेयर मार्केट में ये पीछे गया, लेकिन ICICI का देखो क्या हो गया हाल. And what happened for ICICI Bank? What has ICICI given such kind of result? What is the result that ICICI gave after a Q2 strong? इनके प्रॉफिट्स में क्या हुआ? इनके NIIs देखे जाते हैं. अब इनके NIIs में जो जंप था, 30% जंप इन नेट प्रॉफिट है. The private sector lender net income jumped to 5510 crore, सिर्फ 5000. वहां पे 15,000 करोड़ का है, यहाँ पे सिर्फ 5,500 करोड़ का है. तो ऐसा क्या हो गया कि हमने ICICI बैंक को 10% बढ़ा दिया एक ही झटके में, और ऐसा क्या हो गया कि रिलायंस को हमने एक ही झटके में नीचे कर दिया. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to learn about the market. This is what as a portfolio manager you will be always asked. Derivatives market पढ़ रहे हो ना तुम लोग? Derivatives में you are just doing something called as a particular transaction on a particular script. But when I say portfolio management, a portfolio management is a much bigger role that you are doing. much more bigger role and much more bigger, because tomorrow when you are into a portfolio managers, when you are dealing with portfolio security analysis, the first question your investor will ask you is that why did not you move your money from Reliance to ICICI Bank? You will say that sir मेरे को कोई क्यों पूछेगा, क्योंकि मैं तो portfolio manager हूँ, I am not answerable to them. You are not answerable, but see, today the knowledge with your clients is much higher, and your clients will always ask you. They will always want to ask you questions on it. Just give me 1 minute, please. Just a second, please. Sir, 1 minute hold करना. Will be seen from you or will be made you, because be very clear that today's world, no, knowledge is flowing. For example, every area, every nook and corner, there are certain kind of people who will keep on tapping, and that is where your PMS, for example, I give you one example was of Suchitra Krishnamurthy when she had invested with HSBC PMS, and she lost her 2 crore rupees. She had given 5 crore rupees to the PMS. The PMS returned her 3 crore. And that also after a court. I mean, she went up till Supreme Court to fight against that. So this is what you need to know about that what happens. And this is the way that these players will play. And this is the way that you will have to make yourself eligible to fight with, I mean, make yourself that competent that why you have not invested in this and why you have invested in this. So security analysis is one of the most important aspect of return calculation. And there are many ways and means of calculating returns. मैंने तो बहुत simple सा एक way बताया था, opening price minus closing price and all those things. So this is the formula which I have done it. Selling price minus purchase price upon purchase price कर दिया मैंने, multiplied by 100. मेरा answer मिल गया. This is what. And income from assets मतलब क्या? So the income from assets is nothing but the dividend that you get. So if you are holding a return on equity share, if you want to calculate, then what is the way that you will calculate? So for that, I have got one sum for you. Very simple sum. Miss Meha purchased the shares of RIL Limited at a price of rupees 950. She sold the shares after receiving dividend income at rupees 50 at the end of 1 year at a price of rupees 1075. Calculate her total return from the shares. How much is the dividend yield and how much is the capital gain yield from this share? Can anybody wants to solve it by sharing their screen if you are on computer or laptop? Radha? So I will close it down. You can show if you are on laptop then. If you are on mobile, then it's okay.
No, sir, I'm on mobile.
Anybody who's on laptop and would want to solve it? It's a very simple way of solving it. Very simple way. And how would you solve it? क्या मिला है तुमको? What is your return? I have already solved it, but I don't want to show you the answer. But I want answers from you people. I have already solved it. The answer is there with me. How would you find out the return? Very simple. I've given you the formula. There's nothing. So it is just 50 rupees into bracket. 50 rupees is the dividend amount. So I'm just saying तुमको पैसा कितना मिला? Dividend 50 rupees मिला. The selling price is 1075 minus 950, assuming that only one share was bought, and this whole divided by 950 multiplied by 100. Can you get me the answer? Anybody who's got the calculator? 1075 minus 950 होता है I think 125. So 50 plus, sorry, ये 50 into नहीं हो जाएगा वरना गलत हो जाएगा. This is
हाँ,
50 plus 125 if I'm not wrong. शायद से किती आलं?
18.42.
18.42. ओके, बट अगर मैं तुमसे ये कहूँ, अच्छा ये 18.42 तो टोटल हो गया, बट अगर मैं तुमसे कहूँ कि मुझे सिर्फ डिविडेंड यील्ड चाहिए तो कितना कैसे आएगा? आई जस्ट वांट डिविडेंड यील्ड. हाउ विल यू डू इट देन इन दैट केस? If I tell you that I just want dividend yield, then how will you find out? So then how will you do it? It's nothing but 50 by 950 multiplied by 100 करो, कितना है equal to? 950 is the purchase price, so 50 by 950 into 100 कितना आवेज है राधा? 5.26, correct?
Yes.
And 18.42 minus 5.26 करो ना, कितना आ रहा है? 18.42 minus 5.26. How much is it coming?
13.16.
13.16. Okay. अब देखते हैं आगे का पार्ट. Let me check आगे का part. Why? Because what is the profit? 1075 minus 950 divided by 950 multiplied by 100. Please do this. How much is it coming? 125 by 950 into 100. (125 by 950)
13.15.
सेम 15 कुछ 7 है ना शायद से आगे.
हाँ 157.
तो हो गया 13.16. मैंने कुछ नहीं किया था, मैंने सिंपल सा ये मैंने बोला ना मेरे पास सॉल्यूशन तो रेडी है, मैं तुमसे पूछना चाह रहा था. My solution is ready and this is what I did. 18.42, this is what you got, and then dividend yield and return on share. Okay, makes sense. This is what you have done. 0.0526 is nothing but multiplied by 100 किया तो 5.26 ही मिलेगा, and 0.1316 is 13.16 only when you multiply it by 100. Any returns has to be multiplied by 100, then only it will give you the answer. No returns can give you the answer if you don't multiply it by 100. I mean, it will give you in decimal zone. Am I clear? Easy or difficult to understand this part? Similarly, if I have to, this was return on equity. Similarly, if I have to go ahead and take return on bonds, then so return on bonds में interest मिलता है, ना कि dividend मिलता है. It is interest. So I1 is equal to interest received at the end of the year. PO is cost of investment or bonds at the beginning of the year, and P1 is at the end of the year. P1 is the selling price or bond price at the end of the year. Same thing over here also. Same thing. There is no change. Let's say Mr. Pandey purchased 1,000 10% bonds maturing after 5 years at a price of rupees 950. He sold the bond after receiving interest income at the end of the year at a price of 975 a piece. Same thing he has done. I'm just dividend की जगह पे तुम्हारा interest income आ जाएगा, कोई change नहीं है. So if I have to take the interest वाला part, what will be the interest वाला part? How do I calculate the returns? So if I calculate the returns, can I say 100 plus 100 कैसे आया पता चला? 100 कैसे आया?
1000 by 10.
1000 is face value.
Yes.
rate of bond is or interest on bond is 10%. So
10%.
100. So 1000 by 10%, 100. Selling price was 975 minus 950 divided by 950 multiplied by 100. Please calculate, you will get your answer equal to percentage. $125 by 950 into 100 करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. आंसर आएगा 13.16. कहाँ से मिला? तो ऊपर वाला वही था. मैंने और कुछ नहीं किया था, मैंने सेम प्राइसिंग रखा था. This is the interest is 100. 975 minus 50 is 25. So 100 plus 25 is 125 by 950 into 100. You get 13.16% only. If I am not wrong, right or wrong, Radha? 13.16.
Yes, yes.
Right? मैंने और कुछ किया नहीं था, मैंने सिर्फ उसका पार्ट किया. अब आते हैं अलग से थोड़ा सा करते हैं. You are provided the following information about the year-end values of a share and its dividend for the last 9 years. From stock, calculate total return for each year from 2011 in respect of a shape or human. The price of a year, that the price of a year becomes the end price. Year end price. Year end price of a year becomes the beginning price for the next year, that is your current year. End price of 2011 is the beginning price for the year 2012 and so on. So this is what is given to you. I've given you year 2020 से लेके 2012 तक. This is what you have been given. Now you have to calculate the returns on this. How would you calculate it? Next time say rather please at least any 2-3 students should have laptop with them so that you will be able to solve it. मेरे को क्या करना है, मैं तो अब एक्सेल पे काम ज्यादा करना चाहिए. ये ऑफलाइन लेक्चर होता तो ठीक है, मैं बोर्ड पे काम करता, लेकिन एक्सेल पे काम करोगे तो तुम्हारे लिए ही फायदा है. मेरे लिए तो कुछ फायदा नहीं है, तुम्हारे लिए फायदा है. Right or wrong?
I used to join with laptop only, but आज I am not well, इसलिए मोबाइल से किया.
अच्छा. अभय तो लैपटॉप एक्सेल अगर नहीं सीखा तो कुछ नहीं सीखा ना अभय?
Yes, sir.
अगर लैपटॉप से मतलब एक्सेल नहीं सीखा तो मैं सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. मैंने ऑलरेडी सम सॉल्व कर दिया है, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ तुमको है ना इसका व्हाई am I going like this, because I want to make you understand that how this sum can be solved on Excel. मतलब इसका कोई फॉर्मूला तुमको कुछ ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं है, एक्सेल में तो अपने आप ही काम हो जाएगा तुम्हारे लिए. बट my work is to make you understand on Excel how easy it becomes. Now here you have dividend and here you have year-end share price. You want to calculate every year ka returns. How will you calculate every year ka returns? Abhay, any particular formula that you can use? How will you calculate? 2020 mein the price was 60 rupees, 260. 2019 the share price was 280 rupees. Will you be at profit or will you be at loss?
Profit.
Huh?
Profit.
Profit मध्ये की loss मध्ये?
Loss.
Loss ना. 2019 में 280 था, सर 2020 में वो 260 बन गया, तो profit है कि loss है?
Loss.
Yes.
But obvious loss है ना. तो तुम्हारा formula क्या बनेगा? तो formula, but लेकिन तुमको dividend का 2 रुपया भी मिला है. You received dividend का 2 rupees also. Fair enough. अब मैं formula नहीं जा रहा हूँ, मैं equal to बोलता हूँ. This, sorry. पहले तो आएगा bracket में this plus this opening price minus the closing price divided by closing price bracket close into 100 bracket close. अरे कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया है, देखा मैंने पहले ही बोला ना, फॉर्मूला अपना अलग से अच्छी तरह से अप्लाई करोगे तो सब आंसर राइट मिलेगा। अगर फॉर्मूला अलग से अप्लाई नहीं किया, रॉन्ग अप्लाई किया, तो यू विल हैव अ प्रॉब्लम। हम्म गड़बड़ क्यों आ रहा है, वो मैंने कल ही तो किया था।
So माइन वो ये B2 माइनस B3 भी ब्रैकेट में।
B2 माइनस B3 ब्रैकेट में ही डाला था, इसके लिए मैंने डाला है B2 माइनस B3 ब्रैकेट में।
सर 100 की जगह से
नहीं।
परसेंटेज लिखो।
परसेंटेज लिखूंगा या कुछ भी लिखूंगा, आंसर तो वैसे ही आ रहा है। परसेंटेज भी कर सकते हो वैसे, बट वो नहीं लेगा।
नहीं सर, ये दो पहले माइनस होके फिर
इनटू परसेंटेज नहीं, सिर्फ परसेंटेज।
माइनस।
मेरा जो शीट है वो दिखा देता हूँ। ये दिख रहा है कुछ, कोई और दूसरा शीट दिख रहा है?
यस सर, इसमें B3 में भी ब्रैकेट है, फिर वो डिविडेंड ऐड किया
वही-
बाद
ये वही शीट मैंने वहां पे बनाया था तुम लोग के लिए, यहाँ पे, विच इज
हाँ।
शीट कैसे चेंज हो गया? इक्वल टू C2 इक्वल टू
Plus.
ब्रैकेट C2 प्लस ब्रैकेट B2 माइनस B3 अपॉन B3
तो ब्रैकेट क्लोज कर दो वो B3 के बाद।
फिर भी नहीं आ रहा है यार, क्या नाटक है। B3 के बाद मैंने ब्रैकेट क्लोज किया
और एक ब्रैकेट
यहाँ।
क्लोज कर B3 के बाद। हाँ
अब फॉर्मूला वाइज जाऊंगा तो इट इज वेरी सिंपल। It is nothing but opening price, dividend plus opening price minus closing price divided by closing price into 100. वो फॉर्मूला तो मैंने ऑलरेडी दे दिया है. अब अगर इसको मैं कर देता हूँ, ये 12 दिस 8 years का लेना है मुझे, 2011 का लूंगा तो नहीं आएगा क्योंकि 2010 का प्राइसिंग नहीं दिया है, तो इट विल गिव मी एन एरर. So that is why till 2012 only I wanted to take. So that is why. So this is what you get as returns per year. Now what is the problem over here? If you see 2020, you have got a return of minus 6.42. 2019, the return is 41.5, which means that your returns in a particular year are higher, and in a particular year, in just 1 year, the returns have changed like this. But यहाँ पे अगर मैं IRCTC की बात करूँ तो एक दिन में रिटर्न चेंज हो गया ना, राधा, and Radha will agree to it. The return have changed in the 1 day only. What 1 hour only it got changed. So this makes this formula per year, but this is one of the effective way of calculating formula. Now we come towards is something what I would want you all to understand is an average. So average, how do you calculate? Which you have already done through calculator, but now there is no need of calculator. You have to just use this format and get your calculations. So this what I have done is nothing but your average. So this is what average speaks about, 9.19, which means that if a particular portfolio over a period of 10 years, if I'm not wrong, over a period of nine years, actually speaking, this is a 9-year period, 2020 to 2012, 12 to 20, it comes to 9 years. You are getting a return of 9.19, which is an average return. These all things I've already done over here in my format. I don't know what it is and what it was. So this is what you need to know, that this is the way you will do it. I have still got one more sum with me for you people. So this comes as, इसका मैंने solution यहाँ पे दे दिया था तुम लोगों के लिए. So this is what you have. 41.5% is the highest and the lowest return was minus 6.42. So there are certain problems with that also. So if you take the average, you get 9.197105. Now what if there would have been no dividend? अगर dividend ही नहीं होगा तो कैसे करोगे returns find? So I have one more sum. Miss Radha wants to calculate average return of a share of Tata Motors currently, the available price on 31st December 2020. The share price at the end of the year 31st December 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 were 100, 118, 1128, 128, 135, 140, 120, 135, 145 and 160 respectively. The company has not declared dividends over these years. Calculate the average returns of Tata Motors shares. So what will be the average returns of Tata Motors shares and how do you find out? It's a very simple way to calculate this also, but and uska calculation I have done over here. Look at this. Year and the returns are given to you. And if you want to see the formula, the same formula I have applied. Very simple. Opening price 160 minus closing price 145 upon the closing price into 100 and you get the returns. So 10.344 is the returns. And then you took the average over a period of average, it is coming at 6.9694. So now what does it gives you an idea? What idea you get it from this? Is this the approach that you would do for all of your things? Will this approach help you in getting most of your answer? This is basic mode. There are many other means and ways in which you can solve the sums. There are many ways in which you can get your answers for the sums. This is one of the most used, or you can say most found out way through which you can calculate your, you can do your calculation. So this is one of the way. This is not the final authoritative answers. No, not at all. So this is what we do. अब मैंने तुमको पहले dividend वाला बता दिया था. The next question was on based on dividend only. That if I add dividend, then how would you do it? So we have already done it. So this is what I have for today for you all. Any questions, anything that you have doubt, please go ahead. Radha, any
not
doubt?
related to this,
बोलो.
but मैं last lecture में, आपने last lecture में बताया था
हिंदी
कि
या English?
you can make your own strategy. So my question is how? On the basis of
Yes.
technical analysis.
You have technical analysis in your syllabus, Radha.
We have.
Yes, you have. Unit 3, you have fundamental and technical analysis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I knew that you would want to understand technical analysis. To give a brief for, I think last lecture you only had suggested, sir, why don't you do on Ichimoku, something like that? Ichimoku. Yeah. Now, what is Ichimoku? Have you ever seen that Ichimoku?
Yes, sir.
What is that Ichimoku? What does it do? What does it? Sorry, what does it do?
So I know, but I don't know how to explain you. So it gives signal before the price movement.
Ichimoku basically, if somebody asks me, I don't know how many of have you ever gone through the format of this? Basically, what I have not followed Ichimoku and I don't know about Ichimoku, but I did some few readings because you had told me. So I did few readings about Ichimoku, and something which I got to know that Ichimoku is basically a combination of RSI, support resistance, and Bollinger Bands. It takes all the three into account, and also it can go into more the things. It's not just RSI, or it's not just support and resistance and a Bollinger Band. It can even take more things. It can take even Williams percentage range. So this is something which what is got by somebody who was following all these three things or four things, and he made it into one. It's nothing else. So this is what planning and plotting of your price action can take place. Basically, this is where I somewhere read. I might be wrong also. Please don't get me that whatever I am saying is right. Ichimoku can be wrong, or Ichimoku can be something different also. But कहीं पे मैंने पढ़ा था कि it is a, और इसके चार्ट को देखकर मैं एक चीज समझा कि ये जो Bollinger Bands है, which takes three parameters into price frame.
Yes, you are right.
Bollinger Bands जो 20 दिन का पीरियड लेता है वो, फिर सपोर्ट एंड रेजिस्टेंस और तुम्हारा RSI को मिलाकर ये इचिमोकु का कुछ प्राइसिंग एक्शन ये बनाता है, which I could make out. I could think about it, and that is the reason that you can actually trade on through your own support, your own ways and means. So this is something on Ichimoku. This is Ichimoku bullish trend. So this is gives you an indicators. These are indicators which you give you, but I don't want to right now explain everything about it. It's just ways and means, for example. But in a market where we are, it's very unpredictable to predict all these things. In a market that where you are, I mean, morning when your market was 150 points down, and I had told that in the second half this market can turn around. I had told in my class, because I was teaching them technical analysis, I told them that this market can turn around at this point of time. I'm looking at one price of one company which I am following, and I believe that this would be the support of this company. I believe that this could be the support of this company. मैं wrong भी हो सकता हूँ, मैं गलत नहीं बोलूंगा, मैं wrong भी हो सकता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं सही ही बोलूंगा. You can see the price of this company. मेरे हिसाब से इसका सपोर्ट मेरे को स्ट्रॉन्ग 670 650 तक का लग रहा है. स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट 670 650. बट उसके बाद मुझे पता नहीं क्या हो सकता है इसका भाव। अगर ये गिर गया इस सपोर्ट से नीचे आ गया तो आई डोंट नो, आई मीन आई कैन नॉट प्रेडिक्ट। हाँ मैम, हाँ मैम, मैम बना दिया था, कैसे कैसे करके बना के रख दिया था मैंने। So this is now that is why I'm saying that you can make your own ways and means to find out. For example, what you are following, you might be following some kind of a strategy. Radha might be following some kind of a strategy. Abhay says that sir, I don't understand technical. I am a technical के हिसाब से जाऊंगा ही नहीं. मैं सिर्फ fundamental के हिसाब से ही share खरीदता हूँ sir. Right or wrong, Abhay? So अभय में से दैट सर मैं कंपनी के ओनर के हिसाब से जाऊंगा, मैं कंपनी के अंडरस्टैंडिंग के हिसाब से जाऊंगा और वो बेसिस पे मैं मेरा पोर्टफोलियो बनाऊंगा, मैं और कोई बेसिस नहीं ढूंढूंगा। लेकिन you need to understand that there are ways and means of using those parameters and those helps you in a long run. It helps you in the long run to mitigate your risk. I would say that technical analysis, if you ask me as a personal question, it takes a lot of time with respect to getting a lot of my answers cleared. So for example, if my answers have got cleared is because of technical analysis, I could have understood that what is the price to leave a particular stock. For example, one stock which I have left it or I sold it off was share withdrawal. The pricing was perfect. The pricing was right, and that has helped me in understanding. तुम बोलोगे सर इसके ऊपर भी तो जा सकता था. Biocon. Look at the price that it has started falling, and it has falling like anything. It went over here. ये तो आज का ही होगा. ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ एक महीने के पहले का देख लो. Yes. 352, then it went no. बीच में 6 महीने के पहले मैंने किया था. Look at it. Rather, if you can understand this thing, you can understand the charts. I'm not showing you the heavy charts. I'm not wanting you to show the heavy chart because that would make you a bit of bored and not understanding anything about it. Those who don't understand charts will not understand anything in this. But for example, when it went over here 376, 17 सितंबर को मैंने 350 के आसपास मैंने कहा था कि ये स्टॉक लेने जैसा है. In the same day, it went till 377, and then it started falling. And now see, it's in a free fall. I'm very happy. Why? Because I've sold off my share at 380. In fact, मैंने तो कुछ shares offload किए थे 420 के भाव पे भी. मैंने 420 पे सेल किया, मैंने I think I sold it at whatever higher price, whatever higher highs it was making, I kept on selling it. So it gives you an indication. Technical analysis portfolio management में डालने का reason ही ये था. Otherwise, actually speaking, no. If you go to any of other college का syllabus and see whether they put technical analysis, it will be very less. But we have purposely put why? Because now technical analysis even is a part of CFA. If you go and see CFA ka level 2 ka book, there will be a last unit of technical analysis, because they consider technical analysis as a very important tool in portfolio management. It gives a lot of idea. The charts gives you a lot of idea about how to manage a portfolio, because unless and until you don't understand the price action, the price movement, the volumes, the charts, you will keep on buying at any price, because you have done your base of calculation on past calculations. Whatever is happening, if I tell you this, whatever has happened in the pricing is the past pricing, and based on that you remove this average returns. But when you start looking at technical analysis, you start looking at as an important tool to make you understand कि ये जो तुम्हारे prices थे, ये सारे past के prices है सर, 160, 145. तुमने अब ये प्राइस को देखकर तुमने एक रेंज बनाना शुरू किया. टेक्निकल एनालिसिस टॉक्स अबाउट दोस थिंग्स दैट बेस्ड ऑन दीस प्राइसिंग यू मेक अ रेंज ऑफ इट, एंड दैट इज वेयर इट बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. That is why CFA has introduced technical analysis into its curriculum. They don't have to introduce it. They never wanted to introduce it, but they have been made to introduce it. Why? Because technical analysis price. There's an old saying in the market, "How Bhagwan che." When you understand pricing, you will understand everything. Got the point, everyone?
Yes.
I hope it makes sense. So this is what I have for you all today. Anything else, if you have, please. Okay. So we'll learn more.
हेलो
हाँ भाई बोल.
सर, अभी अगर कॉलेज स्टार्ट हो जाएगा तो हम लोग का टाइमिंग क्या होगा?
मैं तो शाम का ही टाइमिंग रखूंगा, सवेरे तो रख नहीं सकता हूँ, शाम का ही टाइमिंग रहेगा.
सर
क्योंकि अभी हम लोग को अभी बुला रहे हैं ना अल्टरनेट डे पर, इसलिए.
तुम्हारा टाइमिंग क्या ऑफिस का?
लाइक हम लोग का वैसे तो 6:30 को छूटते हैं, पर थाने से यहाँ आते आते टाइम हो जाता है.
चलो देखेंगे, तुम लोग के लिए कुछ तो करेंगे, कुछ करेंगे, डोंट वरी. कोमल, व्हाट इज योर टाइमिंग?
9:30 to 6:30.
ऑफिस, वर्क फ्रॉम ऑफिस और वर्क फ्रॉम होम?
ऑफिस.
अच्छा, वर्क फ्रॉम ऑफिस ही है.
या
कहाँ पर है ऑफिस?
मलाड लिंक रोड पे, नेक्स्ट टू डी मार्ट.
ओके, म्हणजे तर नजदीकच आहे ना. कुठे?
हाँ, सब पर निकलते 7 बजे जाता है.
तो हर प्राइवेट कंपनी का एक ही है, जाना पता है, तय है, आना पता नहीं है सर. आने का कोई टाइम नहीं होता सर.
सब रोज रह गए लेक्चर्स.
नहीं, मैं कुछ ऐसा प्लान कर रहा हूँ कि सैटरडे संडे में ज्यादा करते लेक्चर्स, और वीकडेज में लेक्चर्स विल बी ऑफलाइन, ऑनलाइन होंगे.
ओके.
प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि कुणाल सर विल नॉट कम फ्रॉम फार ऑफ टू हियर. So maybe I'm thinking that at least this semester we can bring in something in offline mode for like Manish sir को मैंने बोल के रखा है. मनीष सर और दूसरे जो मनीष सर है उनको भी बोल के रखा है, और मैं हूँ, तो हम तीन तो आपके लिए ऑफलाइन पे we will be able to take. But timing is what time you are saying? Morning 9:30 na?
Yes.
So I guess you all can make it on Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday.
भाई तुम लोग को सैटरडे ऑन रहता है कि ऑफ रहता है?
हम लोग ऑफ रोल पे, तो हम लोग को ऑन रहता है, पर ऑफिस नहीं बुलाते.
अच्छा, तो मॉर्निंग तो आ सकते हो ना 7 बजे अगर सैटरडे को बोला तो।
यस सर, यस सर।
सर इतना
हाँ।
जल्दी नहीं, 7 बजे 8 बजे रखो ना।
डिपेंड करेगा ना बेटा, वो पहले प्रोफेसर तो मिलने दो जो 8 बजे भी ले पाए। मेरा ही खुद का ऐसा है कि मैं 7 बजे नहीं ले पाऊंगा क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी ऑक्यूपाइड हूँ कहीं और क्लास में। मैं ट्राई करूंगा कैसे तो भी कर दूंगा। Don't worry. Do something. Okay. Chalo then we'll meet. Very soon we'll meet. Let's hope कि पहले before Diwali we will meet all once at college only. ठीक है?
सर आप बुलाओ, हम रेडी है आने को।
ओके चलो, मैं तो बुलाने के लिए रेडी हूँ लेकिन तुम लोग का टाइम मैच नहीं हो रहा है ना। मैं एक्चुअली क्या हो जाता है, आई बिकम फ्री बाय अराउंड 10:30 11 o'clock। अब वो टाइम पे तो मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकता कि तुम लोग आओगे। कोमल तो विल किल मी, से सर पूछे व्हाट इज दिस रॉन्ग, बियर्ड झालायगा, राइट कोमल सर?
हाँ सर।
ओके चलो देखता हूँ, मैं कुछ एडजस्टमेंट लिखता हूँ इन पे। ओके थैंक यू वेरी मच। Radha, please
Thank you.
inform Neha to give attendance.
ओके सर।
Okay, Radha, take care. Good day to everyone.
बाय सर।
Bye, everyone.
Bye sir.
सर